Good morning. Good morning, ladies. I hope we all had a rested night and we are all ready to start today's session. You've been eager for the session. Oh my goodness, Wilhelmina, you are so much on time. I hope you're having a good morning. I know it's 9 a.m., right? It's 9 a.m. So I hope you had a good morning and that you're doing well. So if you have anyone else who is here, just like Wilhelmina did, please introduce yourself in the chat section. Just tell us where you joining us from. Wilhelmina is from Kutumela, Joburg, Soweto. Company name, Pimville Guest House. Right, Valprol, hi, good morning. I hope you're all having a good morning and that you rested well. Hi, Leading Women of Africa TV. We are reminding everyone. Awesome. That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So my name is Beryl Okwach, Beryl Atieno, whichever name you prefer. I'm from Kenya. I work with Impactor as a trainer, and I'll be taking you through today's session. You can see my colleague Amarachi in the chat section already. So she has the blue name with the spanner. So she'll be interacting with you, picking questions, responding to your questions, reminding me if there are any pending questions that I have to address, obviously. So that's what Amarachi will be doing, basically overlooking the session. And then in the back end, we have another colleague. Her name is Judith. So Judith is broadcasting this session, ensuring that you can see me, that we are live, and that everything goes well. We won't have any technical issues. Okay. So it's really, really, really nice to have you here. And funny thing, we are all on different time zones. So I'm in Kenya. I'm basically 1 hour ahead of you in South Africa. So it's 9 a.m. your time, it's 10 a.m. my time, and it's 8 a.m in Amarachi and Judith's place, right? So we are all on different time zones, but basically making it work, all right? So that's a good thing. It's a good thing with, the digital space. So I'm really, really happy to have you all here. Who else do we have? Who else has joined us and hasn't introduced themselves? So please feel free to introduce yourself. Like I said, what is your name? I know I have taken one or two of your sessions before, but it would be important to at least, remind me your names in the chat section. Maybe one day, you never know. The world, everything is a cycle. We might get to a point where I'll meet you again, and maybe I'll be the participant and you'll be the trainer at some point. Okay. So thank you all for taking time to join us. I'll start the session. Valprol, Wilhelmina, and then Leading Women of Africa TV. Just drop me an emoji if you're ready for us to start today's session. Just drop me an emoji if you're ready for us to start today's session. So I know we are all on the same page. Who is leaving? I can see people are leaving. Should be joining, not leaving. Okay. So are we ready for us to start the session? Wilhelmina, Valpro, Leading Women, I'll just wait for your prompt. It's almost 5 minutes in. I was giving some bit of time to have people join, but I guess we'll just move on and then they'll join as we move along. Okay. I'll just come back and see how many of us have joined and how many have introduced themselves meanwhile. So Valpro is ready for us to start the session. Hi. All right. So we'll start the session. This is what we're going to look at today, how to implement Google Workspace across your business. All right. So we look at the different tools that Google Workspace has, what is Google Workspace, and then how can you leverage on those tools, especially for communication and collaboration within your team members, right? So this is what we're going to cover today. I know so far we've looked at you've done so far 6 sessions. You've looked at how to build your brand and sell online. You've looked at how to create your own digital marketing plan. You've looked at using marketing tools and social media to grow your business. You've looked at how to create your own business strategy, marketing strategy. You've looked at how can you leverage on the different, tools to get data and insights, and what do you do with that data and insights, and then how do you set up your own Google business profile. And I'm really hoping that we've taken some time to look at the practical bits of it outside the class. So if it is on leveraging on the different tools and the kind of data that you can get from there, or if it's on setting up your own Google business profile. If you've had any issues so far, please, you can tell us in the chat section. Beryl, I tried creating my own Google business profile, and this is a problem I'm experiencing. Then we can help you with that, right? So the three agendas that we're going to cover on today's session, we're going to look at what is the Google Workspace, right? Before we look at the different tools that encompass the Google Workspace, we need to get an understanding of what the Google Workspace is. Okay, so what is the Google Workspace? All right, what does it encompass? What are the different tools within the Google Workspace? And then how can you boost your communication? Because any problem in an organization, or rather even in our personal lives, can be solved with communication. So how can you boost communication across your business? And then collaboration. So you have maybe people in the logistics department, you have people in the finance department, you have people in the human resource department. How can they work together seamlessly? All right, they're not all in the same page. Probably they're in different states, but how can they collaborate together towards working towards the organization's vision, right? This has been stated in the previous sessions, before and after every session, and it's something that I'll keep on reiterating. So we have the Google Hustle Academy, which is a 1 week long boot camp, right? It runs for like Monday to Friday. And actually, we have another cohort next week. So it's fine, even if you don't make it for next week's cohort, because we already have people who've been assigned to that. Maybe you can apply for the next cohort. So it's not a maybe, it's something that's ongoing. So you can apply for the next cohort. Please go to g.co/hustle academy. I'm going to actually post the link in the chat section. Get to learn about basically how do you want to, you would like to know how to pitch your business to potential investors. How do you go about with that? How do you come up with your own pitching deck? All right. And you even look at live examples of previous decks. What do you think about them? How do they work for those brands? All right. So how do you create your own pitching deck? You look at the different funding options available. If you want to start with angel investors, if you want to start with crowdfunding, there are different funding options that are available for basically SMEs. If you have an idea, you're in the ideation stage, but you don't have the funds to start your business, or you are already set up and you want to scale up, okay, but you don't have the funds. So what are the funding options available? How do you create your own financial forecast? Okay, so how do you create your own financial contingency plan? All right, so all these things are covered. What are the different tools that you can use for content development? And it's very practical. Okay, it's very practical. So you do not want to miss that. You're also assigned a mentor, all right? You also assign a mentor to walk you through basically the entrepreneurial journey. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, they're there to assist you with that. So please sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. You actually stand a chance to benefit. If you have to get that information, that same information in one place from somewhere else, I'm guaranteeing you'd have to pay for it. I am 100% sure. But this is an opportunity to access at no cost. So make sure you take advantage of that. So the first question I'm going to ask is, currently, what tools do you use to communicate and collaborate within your business? What tools do you use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Anwana. I hope you're well. So what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Is it direct message? Is it WhatsApp? Which one? Which one is it? All right. So let me see your comments in the chat section. Let me see your responses in the chat section. Which tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Hi, Carmen. It's nice to have you here again. I can remember some names from the previous session. So please let me know what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate? Is it email, WhatsApp, you know, direct message, Google Meet, Zoom? Which tools do you use to communicate and collaborate? Let me see your responses kindly. Please feel free to drop your responses in the chat section. I would like for this session to be very interactive, meaning, responding to questions. And basically, if you have any questions for me as well, if you have any comments, please feel free. The floor is actually very open. So Valprol says WhatsApp and Twitter. Okay. And then Carmen says WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, email, Google Meet for most of my meetings. Awesome. So that's good, Carmen. That's very, very good. I only have responses from Carmen and Valprol, and then Wilhelmina says email and WhatsApp. Okay. So I'm assuming you mostly use email for formal conversations, and then WhatsApp if you intend to get direct feedback, right? And then Lizzie says direct message WhatsApp, yes. And then Zoom probably for email, Zoom for maybe meetings, and then emails. Awesome. Awesome. That's good. So thank you, Carmen, Valprol, Wilhelmina, and Lizzie. Thank you all so much for your responses. So remember, in the three agendas that you're going to cover, we were supposed to look at the first thing, discovering Google Workspace, what it is, and the different tools that encompass the Google Workspace. So do you currently use the Google Workspace? And if so, how? If you also don't know what the workspace is, feel free to say, you know what, Beryl, I don't know what the Google Workspace is. And that is also an okay response. Anwana says WhatsApp, email, Facebook, and Zoom. Thank you, Anwana, for that. Do you currently use Workspace? And if so, how? So I'm not going to explain what workspace is because that's what we're going to dive into after this slide. So I'm just trying to get an understanding of, if either of us have tried using workspace before. And if not, it's also okay. You can tell me, I don't know what the Google Workspace is. And that's okay. So please drop your responses. Let me see those responses. Let me see your responses. There's no one is telling me whether they know workspace, whether they've used workspace, whether they don't know what workspace is. Yeah, they're all very, very quiet. Should I assume that you don't know what workspace is? Which is also fine. You can tell me I don't know what the Google Workspace is. That's also an like I said, it's an okay response. We're not here to look at wrong or right responses. We're here to learn. Thank you, Carmen. Not really, but I'm happy to learn more. Most importantly, I'm not sure I know Anwana. And funny thing, you guys will figure out that you actually know what workspace is. It's just that you don't know the collective term of it, but it's something that you know. Because I can see from your responses, some of the tools that you're using for communication are under workspace. Okay, so you'll see that it's just a collective term of some of the tools that you commonly use. So Workspace is the previous G Suite, right? If you know what G Suite was. So I think G Suite was for the oldies like us, but they changed the name to Google Workspace. Okay. So basically, Google Workspace, like I said, it was previously known as G Suite, is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools and software developed and marketed by Google. So basically a collaboration, it's what collection of cloud computing tools that you use in your business either for communication and collaboration. So basically these are the tools that encompass the Google Workspace. So which icons do you recognize? Like I said, you basically have used some of these tools. Just didn't know the collective term of them all. What's Google Workspace? So Google Workspace is a collection of cloud computing tools that you can use for communication and collaboration within your business. So which icons do you recognize here? I'll say the first one, Gmail. I recognize Gmail. That's my answer. So which other, let me not say Gmail. Which other tools can you recognize? Which tools can you recognize? Yeah. Which tools can you recognize? Lizzie, I saw your response. You've retracted it, but I saw it. So, which other tools can you recognize? I've said the first one. I've talked about the first one. I've said Gmail. There's calendar next. Please. Wilhelmina is, it's like you're reading my mind. So there's Gmail, there's calendar. Carmen says Google Docs, Forms, Sheets, Drive, Meet. Calendar, Drive. What else? There's someone who said they do the meetings with Google Meet. I can see an icon for Google Meet there. Okay. I can see Google Currents, Google Chat, Jamboard. Okay. And we're all going to look at these things extensively. All right. I don't know if some of us have interacted with Jamboard before and what it's about. Valprol, Gmail, Drive. Yes. Calendar Drive. I like to use Google Meet. Yeah, Google Meet is really nice for meetings. Yeah, me too. I like to schedule my meetings on Google Meet a lot. Lizzie says Word and Sheets. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Basically, you've got an understanding of what Google Workspace is. So these are the cloud computing tools that we talked about that you can use either for communication and collaboration. Okay. So what is the core functionality of Google Space? The first thing, you're able to create documents and presentations. Okay. I can create my documents on Google Docs. I can decide on Google Slides, okay? And then I can do presentations, okay? Then I can record, analyze, and present data. I can do this on Google Forms or on Google Sheets, okay? So if you have an idea of the, Microsoft Office, so there's Microsoft Word, there's Microsoft PowerPoint, there's Excel, all those things. But now we don't call them that under the workspace. So there's Google Docs, there's Google Sheets, there's Google Slides, there's Google Forms, okay? So if you want to record, analyze, and present data, you can do on Google Forms and Google Sheets. Okay. Then you're able to brainstorm ideas, manage projects, and store files. So you can brainstorm ideas on Google Current, or you can brainstorm ideas on Jamboard. So the normal whiteboard that we have, the whiteboard, that the physical whiteboards that we have, and then you have to use a marker to write on them. So the Jamboard is basically a virtual whiteboard. Okay, so I can share with you my link to the Jamboard. All right, so my Jamboard, it's a whiteboard, virtual whiteboard. Then you're able to comment. So we are brainstorming and ideas, and you're indicating your ideas on the whiteboard. Okay, so you're still able to brainstorm virtually, and then you can communicate globally if it's on Google Chat, or if it's on Gmail, or if it's on Google Meet. All right, you're able to have meetings, communicate to people, get responses, all right, with people globally. So on creating documents and presentations, like I said, you can use Google Docs and slides. I can decide, you know what, I want to do a presentation. I want to send a proposal to leading women of Africa, or we want to have a physical training session with leading women of Africa TV. Okay. So for us to get funding, we have to look for funding partners for the physical event. All right. So we have to co-draft a proposal together. Leading Women of Africa is in maybe assuming is in South Africa, and then I'm in Kenya. I can create my own document and share with share with someone from the team of Leading Women of Africa. So share with them the link to my doc or slides and give them editor rights, so they're able to work. We're able to work on the document together real time. So there's no you reduce the time you have for a lot of back and forth. So if I have to create the document on Word, then send to her on email, or I have to create the document in PowerPoint, send to her on email, then she sends back with corrections, then I send back, it reduces all that. So you just create a document on the cloud. If it's on Docs, if it's on Slide, add them as editors, or if you just want to give them viewing rights, so you're able to work on the documents together. Okay. If they have a comment, if assuming I've used an image on the slides, the image is not clear, they can drop a comment, right, that I'm able to see right next to the document and tell me, you know what, Beryl, this image is very blurry. Can you change it? Okay. So, and I'm able to see it. Then once I change it, I can mark as resolved. So she knows that I have actioned the recommendation that she gave me. So that's on creating documents and presentations. If you want to record, analyze, and present data, you can use Google Forms and Sheets. So you can use Google Forms to, basically run a survey, collect data from people. Say you're a business, you want to understand uh, about your customers, you want to learn about their interest, you want to understand their feedback. So you can send out a survey on Google Form to them, then have them fill the form. Then you can download the information maybe in an Excel. You're able to download that as an Excel, all right? And then look at the responses that they have. You can analyze the data from there and do a presentation in regards, okay? Then it's the same thing with Google Sheets, okay? So if you want to do maybe a financial forecast to your board, you have a financial plan you want to do to your board, or basically to a potential investor, you can use Google Sheets for that. Okay, you're able to record, analyze, and present data. So remember, Google Sheets is like Excel. So there are formulas you can input, all those things. Remember, all these tools, you're still able to add people as collaborators to the form. Anyone you would want to have access to the form, you give them access to it. Okay, so you can see, like on Google Sheets, there's someone who's talked about love the chat. Okay, so this is someone that has been added on the form, and they're commenting on what they're seeing. So the benefits of Google Workspace basically is increased collaboration. All right, you're able to work with different people real time on your document. Okay, then there's also improved communication. They can drop their comments there. All right, if it's on Google Meet, they're able to it ensures that you can run video conferencing. If it's on Google Chat, you can have instant feedback communication. And the best thing with Google Chat, just like in WhatsApp, you can have groups. If it's logistics groups, finance group, you can create groups on Google Chat so that it's easier for communication. You just drop a message, everyone in that team is able to see your message. Then there's smarter working, you're able to brainstorm on ideas together. So that's on the Jamboard and Current. And then there's enhanced security. Remember, all these things are in the cloud, and only people that you give access to the documents are the ones who can access it. So if I don't have access to a certain document, I'm not able to, see it, all right? I'm not able to comment on it. So there's enhanced security on that. Okay. So on increased collaboration, there are tools that you can use, all right? And then there's the share feature. I've talked about this. You're able to share with people you want to comment or work on a document together. You're able to track changes. So if sorry, so if I make any change on a document, so I go to maybe you've shared a Google Docs document with me, and you want me to work on it. If I make any changes on it, it will show you who made that change. All right. So if you don't like the change, you can say, Beryl, I saw that you're the one who made this change. I don't think it's appropriate. All right. So you're able to track changes, comment on ideas, and work with colleagues across projects. So with communication, the tools that you can leverage on for communication, there's Gmail, right? So you can use email for formal conversations. There's Google Meet if you want to have presentations, or if you want to do meetings, virtual meetings, you can do presentations as well. There's Google Currents that can also help with that. And then there's Google Chat, where I'm able to drop chats, and my colleagues are able to respond to me. Remember, I've said with Google Chat, you can even create groups. Okay, so if you're in the project group, all right, you can create a group there. So if I send a communication, my colleagues are able to see it in my project team real time. Okay, so assuming like for this training, we had like a group on Google Chat with Judith and Amarachi and the whole training team. And so we drop the message and say, you know what, we have a training with Leading Women for Africa. So we have a training with them. So everyone is able to see that. I don't have to text each person specifically. All right. So it also assists with that. On working smarter, you're able to collect, analyze, and turn data into insights. Okay, so what are the tools that you can use to work smarter? The Google Sheets, okay, you can use that to work smarter. There's Jamboard as well. And then you're able to streamline your workflows and processes, store and manage files. So in storing and manage files, that's on the Google Drive, okay? So you use Google Drive to store data. If it's data on accounts, I can have a folder for accounts. So I know these are my accounts. And then inside the folder for accounts, I can have another folder for 2019 financials, 2020 financials, 2021 financials. Okay. If I have been filing my tax, I can have another folder for my tax returns. So I have my documents for tax returns receipt for 2019, tax returns receipt for 2021. It's very important to be able to store your data, have a good filing system. Okay. Then if I want to give access to someone to that folder, I only have to send them an invite to access that folder. All right. Then that's on securing and storing files. I've talked about this on Google Drive. Okay. So if you're the admin console, okay, you can centralize all your administration, you can manage your users. So what I mean by managing your users is on the Google space. So like the way there's the Gmail account, okay? So you would need to create business emails. That's on assuming for Impactor, I have a working email. There's Beryl at impacther.org, Amarachi at impacther.org. Okay, but there's someone who's managing, who is the admin console, so they can manage all these emails from one point. If I have another team member that's gotten into the team, the admin console can is from the admin console, you're able to create a new business email. Okay, so you can also restrict access. If Beryl leaves the team, I'm able to, and I'm not transferring her email to someone else, I'm able to restrict her email so that if she's not part of the team, she can't access any work related things. Okay, she can't access that email again. And then it's very important to have two-step authentication for your emails. Okay, it basically helps with the security, and this is the same thing with the social media accounts. If you're on Google Analytics, if you're on Facebook, okay, it's very important to work on the security of your accounts by basically ensuring that you select the two-step authentication process. Now, when you're creating your Google Workspace account, you get started with, go to workspace.google.com/sign up /business starter. Okay. So go to Workspace, but you have on Workspace, you have to, if you basically want to get the business emails and that, you have to pay there's an annual fee for this. Okay, so this is not entirely free, but the fee is very basically affordable, and you pay it per year. Okay, so you go to workspace.google.com/sign up /business starter, input your business name. What is your business name? Impactor or Wilhelmina restaurant. What is your business name? Add your contact details. What is your contact details? Choose your domain name. So the domain name is what will appear on the emails. So I gave an example of Wilhelmina restaurant. So if she creates a business email, it would be probably Wilhelmina at wilhelminarestaurant.com or something like that. Okay. So, or hr@wilhelminarestaurant.com. All right. So choose your domain, update your business address, and set up your login details. So after you set up your login details, remember to set up the two-step authentication. Basically, how do you get set up on the workspace? Okay, so after creating your own business email, you can add team members and users. Okay, so I can add Amarachi, Judith, Lizzie, if they're part of my team, right? I can give them emails. Right? And then migrate data and import files. So if I have a previous email, basically, if previously I was talking to my clients via my Gmail, and now I've created my business email, and I feel like I need the information from my previous email to come to my business email so that I don't lose data, you're able to import all that information and migrate that information to your new email so you don't lose data. all right? So you don't lose data. Do I have any questions up to this point? Those are really great responses. Yeah, I agree with you, Amarachi. So Amarachi has dropped the link to Workspace to get started with it. Please click on it, copy it, and paste it on your browser. You look at it after the session and see how you can get started with that. So, any questions up to this point? So that's the first part of our session. We've looked at what Google Workspace is, what are the different tools that encompass the Google Workspace. What else have we looked at? The tools that you can use for communication, tools that you can use for collaboration. But we'll still get into this further in the next part of our session. Question: if I have 2 or 3 Gmail address, can I incorporate that into one? All right. If I have 2 or 3 Gmail address, can I incorporate that into one? So it also depends. Yeah. So when you're choosing to import data into the different, into your business email, obviously you can start with the first email. Yes. Import data from that email, then go to the second email. So long as you still have access to those emails, because you will need to authenticate whether they're your emails. All right, you need to authenticate whether they're your emails, so you need to have login details to those previous emails. So yes, you're able to import even if you have 2 or 3 Gmail addresses. That's fine. Okay. And is there a way where I can incorporate Gmail email and Outlook email to a centralized space? Okay, so Outlook is a bit different because it's on Microsoft. So I don't want to respond and give you incorrect information. I know from Gmail, it's easy to move your Gmail data, import your Gmail data into your business email. But I'm not sure about the Outlook because it's basically a different platform. Maybe I can go back and ask on this, and then maybe in the next session. So what I'll do, let me just write that down. Okay. In terms of Outlook, because it's basically a different platform. Outlook is on the Microsoft platform. So it's Microsoft Outlook. Okay. So wait, Outlook to business email. So in the next session, I'll ensure that I bring a response to that. Yeah, Outlook to business email. Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough for you, Carmen? Hmm? Sorry. Okay. Uh, Imported data. Sorry. Just hold on. I'm trying to sort something out. Yes, so I was just basically, yeah, sorry. I was basically looking at if it's possible, and actually it's very possible. It's actually possible. I think I've given you a response now. It is possible. So you can migrate data even from different platforms. If you have the Outlook email, some people probably still work with Yahoo. Other people have the Y mail. All right. So you can import from those emails as well. I know they're different platforms, but I've just seen that it's possible to do that. Okay. So when you go to Workspace and you're looking at the email to import your data from, you can input the email that you have so long as you have login details to each. Okay, awesome. Yes, so yeah, you can do that. I'm glad I've been able to respond to that in this session, so you can go back home at least with a response to that. So we'll move on to the next part of our session, which is basically how to leverage on each tool in terms of communication. So you want to boost communication across your business. How do you go about that? How do you get started with that? So currently, which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? Looking at the different icons. And I know I asked more or less almost the same question when you started the session, but now with an understanding of the different tools of Google Workspace. Which tools do you think you can use for communication to boost communication in your business? Which tools do you think you can use to boost communication in your business? Okay, which tools? So you remember, which tools do you think you can use to boost communication in your business? Alabi, Carmen is the one who's very interactive with me. The other ones, Lizzie, you're quiet. Valprol, you've gone quiet. Wilhelmina, you've also gone quiet. Anwana, I'm bringing you people out of your holes. Who else? Yeah, you've gone quiet. You've gone quiet. Which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication for communication purposes? Where are your responses? Please drop your responses. Which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? Okay. I can see a response just came in. Wilhelmina says email. You're correct. Especially for formal conversations. Especially for formal conversations, you'd want to have everything on the email so that it's easier to go back and say, you know what, referring to my previous conversation, such things. Okay. So it's very important for formal conversations to try and leverage on email so much for that. Okay. And then, so the tools that you can use for communication are basically, you can decide to use Gmail. Okay. You can also decide to use Google Meet for video conferencing. You can decide to use Google Currents, all right? And you can also decide to use Google Chats, all right? So if you have access to the workspace, you'll definitely have access to all these features. And you want to boost communication across your business, you can use Gmail, Currents, Chat, or Google Meet, all right, to boost communication. So on Gmail, you want to send out emails. And the best thing with Gmail is, so long as your internet is good, you have access to the internet, it's instant. If you send me an email right now, I'm able to see the email right now, regardless of where I'm placed. Okay. I can send files. If it's an attachment or links to my Google Drive, I'm able to send files. I can create emailing groups, right? It's the same thing with the chat. I can decide to create emailing groups. So if it's on, I have my vendors, assuming I have not vendors, so maybe in the logistics department. So there's the person in charge of transport, there's the person in charge of procurement, all those things. And you need, because the conversations in the logistics department are usually all connected. So you can create like a logistics email. So maybe logistics at impactor.com. And then if we have 5 people in the logistics team, I can have them on that, give them access to that email. So if I just go to my email and send out my email to the logistics team, all these 5 people are able to get my email instant. Okay. So you can create groups, you can create emailing lists, you can integrate your calendar in order to stay connected and up to date. So integrate your calendar with your email. All right. So if you have meetings, you're able to see them from your calendar directly. Okay. It's very, very important. It helps with organizing, your organization basically. And then there's the Google Meet. You want to be having team meetings. Okay. You want to do presentations. You can leverage on Google Meet for this. So there's the option to decide on this. And then there's the Google Currents. How do you stay connected as a team? All right. So you can use Google Currents for that. People are able to communicate their ideas. You're able to receive instant feedback. All right. You're also able to receive instant feedback. And it's the same thing with the Google Chat. You're able to get instant feedback. You're able to group conversations. All right. It basically helps with streamlining the communication process in your business, in your organization. Okay. So top tips to basically maximize your communication. So you're able to recreate in-person communication. I don't need to set up a physical meeting with Lizzie or with Amarachi or with Judith to get things going. I don't have to do that. I don't have to see them, okay? So I can just tell them, I can send out an email to them and tell them, you know what, am I available on Friday, 5 p.m. for a meeting? All right. So and they respond and they say, you know what, 5 p.m. your time works for us. So that's basically 3 p.m. their time. Then we send out a calendar invite. So it goes to my calendar. So I'm able to know today at 5 p.m. If I wake up and look at my calendar, I'll know that I have a meeting with Judith. All I have to do is to click on that link that will be incorporated in my calendar. Click on that link, join the meeting, and we're able to communicate and converse on anything that's needed. So it also helps with staying organized. All right. It helps you to stay organized, especially when you, in terms of basically setting up meetings or tasks. It's not even on meetings alone. So you can set up events or tasks on the calendar. Okay, so you're able to know this is what I'm supposed to do today. Organize yourself. Basically, you can have your to-do list on your calendar. All right, you're able to know this is what I'm supposed to do today. These are the meetings that I'm supposed to attend today. You're able to create team mailing list. So it reduces the time that you take in sending out emails to one person at a time, one person at a time. So you can create team mailing list and then set up project or team rooms. You're also able to set up project or team rooms. So that's on. I've basically talked about recreating in-person conversation. You're able to schedule regular team calls, check in via Google Meets and Hangouts, communicate with colleagues across the globe, brainstorm on ideas, and you're also able to join on mobile or desktop. I don't have to basically access the meeting rooms, right, with my laptop. I can use my phone. If I have synced my work email with my phone, which personally I've synced my work email with my phone. So I'm able to see emails as they come in. I can respond to them from my phone. I can take up meetings from my phone as well. So that's when I have notifications as well. So if an email comes in, I'm able to get a notification like the way you'd get a notification for a text message. So I can just open it. It's very hard for me to miss emails. Okay. And then on staying organized, I've talked about the calendar. So set up events on your calendar, set up tasks on your calendar. You can set up your to-do list on your calendar. So every morning when you wake up, you know, this is what expected of me. This is what I'm supposed to do, right? And then it's very hard to miss meetings. Imagine you have a meeting with a potential investor or a potential partner, and they agreed to meet you maybe on Monday at 2 p.m. and you don't set it up on your calendar. So you remember at around 3 p.m. on Monday and you're like, oh my goodness, I was supposed to have a meeting at 2. Can you imagine how it would look like to that investor? You would look like you're not serious, regardless of whether you're busy or not. So if you set it up on your calendar, you can also set up notifications for it. So like 10 minutes to the session, 5 minutes to the session, it gives you a notification, upcoming meeting, So it's very hard for you to miss these meetings. And then if you want someone maybe in your organization, they want to set up a meeting with you, you can make your calendar open so your team members are able to see your calendar. So they can come to your calendar, see the days that you're busy, see the slots that are open, and then they can schedule a meeting for you. With you at that specific time. Okay. So on creating team emailing list, you can create a group, Google Groups email list. I talked about this and I gave an example of maybe the logistics email. You can decide on the HR email. Then you're able to send status updates with that. You can share resources as attachments. It basically helps to foster the community spirit and basically visibility within team members. Okay. And then setting up project or team rooms. You can do this on Google Chat, or you can do this or you can do this on email as well. Okay, so give an opportunity for your team members to share ideas. Give you an opportunity for your team members to share their thoughts. Okay, so the more you create an open policy for communication, it helps even with sharing ideas within team members. Okay, So someone with a good idea does not feel like, what, I don't think this is the right place to share my idea. So create a platform where all your team members are comfortable and able to share their ideas, right? Do I have a question again up to that point? Oh no, Google Mail, yes. Google Docs, Google Meet and Gmail. And Ruth says email. I think that was the question that I asked on communication, which tools you can use for communication. So, I didn't see Pincel Design. I'm seeing you now. I didn't know you on the call. I hope you're okay. How are you? Pincel, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good morning. Okay. So thank you for your response in regards. That's really, really good. I really, really appreciate that you guys are very interactive. So it doesn't feel like I'm talking alone. Okay. So thank you so much. And thank you, Amarachi. So shortly, Amarachi will drop the attendance link. Okay. So make sure you fill the attendance form. I hope you've been getting your certificate. If not, I see you. You're welcome. So if not, just be a bit patient on that. It's something that we do on a rolling basis. So we'll be sending out certificates, and so make sure you fill in your correct name on the attendance form as you would like for it to appear on your certificate. Okay. So Marachi will drop the certificate link in the chat section. Please make a point on filling it out. Okay. And then remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to like the session, hit the thumbs up button to like the session. Yeah, I can see someone has already done that. So subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up the thumbs up button to like the session. If you want to get notifications on any upcoming sessions, click on the bell icon. You will be getting notifications of any upcoming sessions. So thank you, Amara, for that. You have not received any. That's okay, Anwana. So if you've been filling out the attendance form, the certificates will be sent out. Like I said, we're sending them out on a rolling basis. So they will all be sent out. Just so long as you've been filling in the attendance form, you will receive your certificates. Okay. So I think that's it. I was just giving a clarification. Why did you retract your statement, Anwana? I saw it, but it's okay. You will, so long as you've been filling in the attendance form, you can get your certificate. Okay, so we'll pin the attendance form on the screen. Make sure you fill it out before the session ends. All right. So are we ready for us to move on to the next part of our session? Are we ready to move on to the last part now of our session? So we are going to the last part of the session. Are we ready to move to the final part of our session? I hope you've been finding the trainings insightful, right? So if you feel like there's something I need to do better, you can also tell me in the chat section. Beryl, you're going too fast. Beryl, please go back to the previous slide. Please feel free to let me know. It's very open. I will not take offense for anything. Okay. So we'll move on to the last part of our session. Basically, we've looked at what the Google Workspace is. We've looked at the different tools that you can use on Google Workspace. How can you leverage on the different tools, especially for communication? So I think we're going to look at collaboration at the moment. All right. We've looked at the tools for communication. We've said you can use Gmail, you can use Google Chat, you can use Google Currents, okay? And you can use a calendar as well for communication. And then there is the collaboration. So which tools can you use to ensure that you improve the collaboration within team members in your organization? All right. So which tools can you use to increase collaboration? Which tools can you use to increase collaboration? Which tools can you use to increase collaboration? We talked about the communication and you gave me your examples as the email, Gmail, but now on collaboration, you want to collaborate within your team members. Which tools can you use? Please drop your responses in the chat section. Which tools you can use for collaboration? Which tools can you use for collaboration? Do I have any response? Or I should move on and come back to pick responses? Should I move on and come back to pick responses? Yeah? Should I move on and come back to pick responses? Which tool? Yes, thank you, Prince. You can use Google Meet, you can use Google Docs. Yes, for collaboration purposes. So Google Meet, Carmen. I can see from Pincel and Carmen. Pincel and Carmen have given me some responses. So we look at the different tools that you can use to basically increase the collaboration within your team members. Okay. So there is where is my slide? Here it is. So when you're collaborating across projects and team members, you're able to brainstorm on ideas. Remember, I talked about Jamboard for that. So you can brainstorm on ideas. You're able to share working files. So if I have my files on Google Docs, if I have my files on Google Sheets, if I have my files on Google Slides, I'm able to share them with the specific team member I want to have access to that document. Okay. You can make suggestions and tag colleagues. So remember, like we were working on that funding proposal with Leading Women for Africa. Okay. Then they tell me, you know what, Beryl, I think you need to change the way you have basically talked about this training program to this and this. Okay, so they can make suggestions, and when I go and action that suggestion, I can mark it as resolved. Okay, and then if there's something else I need someone to work on, maybe I need Lizzie to work on, I can tag Lizzie. I have her email, I can tag her on the document at Lizzie, could you please action this? Okay, then you're able to track changes. You know who made changes on what did they do, so you're able to know who did what part and what did they do. So basically on Jamboard, I talked about being able to brainstorm. Okay, and I said the Jamboards are basically virtual whiteboards, the whiteboards that we normally have, and then you use a marker pen on it maybe to brainstorm on ideas. So this is basically virtual. You can see how it looks like. All right, so the one on the screen, this is just not an image from nowhere. That is basically how the Jamboard looks like. So I can open my own Jamboard, and then I can share the link to my Jamboard with, assuming in this session we were to have a brainstorming session, I could create my own, I could go to my Jamboard, share my Jamboard link with you in the chat section. So when you click on it, you're able to access it, and then you can drop your comments there. So you can tell me, Beryl, you can do this. Maybe Beryl, your lighting is not good. Next time, work on your lighting. Beryl, your audio is not good. Okay, so things like that. So you're able to brainstorm real time, and the comments that you drop, I'll see them real time. Okay, so that's how you create the opportunity to brainstorm with your team members virtually. So remember, we said with the Google Workspace tools, you're able to recreate in-person meetings or conversations or communication. All right. And then on Google Drive, you're able to store files, right? So it's very secure. So imagine my work documents, all my work documents for Impactor, if I have them on my laptop, and then someone, maybe a friend or my sister, comes to my house, and then they're like, Beryl, can you assist me with your laptop a bit? And then I have my private work documents on my desktop. It's easy for them to access that, okay? But if I have them on Google Drive and I log out of my Google Drive and I assist them with my laptop, they're not able to access my documents, okay? So storing documents on your drive is very secure. And actually, even for my personal documents, my resume, my certificates, I have copies of all those documents on my drive. All right. So I've created folders for them on my drive. It's very secure. And then if maybe you are in the project team, okay, and then maybe you traveled and you used company money, or you used your own money, and maybe you want refunds, so you can create a folder with all the receipts, scan the receipts, have them all there, and then share that folder with the finance manager or the accounts manager, So they're able to access all those receipts. So when they're doing their reconciliation, instead of having to send them maybe on WhatsApp, which is not very formal, you can just tell them, I've given you access to the folder with all the receipts for your review and approval. Okay, so that's on. You can even do that if you want to make any requisition. Okay, so that's with the Google Drive. With the Google Slides and even with the Google Docs, you're able to edit shared documents in real time, basically reducing the needs to send files back and forth. So sending files out as an attachment. Oh, Judith, can you do this for me? So Judith does it. Then Judith sends it back, and I feel like she's not done a good job. So I send it back to Judith and tell her, Judith, you've not done a good job. It's very hectic. Okay. So you just create a document, share with them, and you work on it real time. So you can see an example where Kaori said, Kaori Kim, on the image on the screen, Kaori Kim told Jacob, make the text bigger. Okay, so Jacob came and marked as resolved. So Jacob came, made the text bigger and marked as resolved. Okay, so when the next time Kaori comes, he or she knows that Jacob actioned the recommendation that they gave. And then Reggie said, move slide. Do I need to move slide? Okay, so slide updated. You're able to communicate, you're able to make comments, you're able to tag colleagues. If Reggie wanted to address something to Kaori, they can tag them at Kaori Kim, please add an extra slide, something like that. So you can suggest changes, you can comment with ideas, you can tag colleagues. Basically, it improves communication, visibility, and collaboration within your team members. I hope you all understand how that has worked. Then you're able to make changes. So you can view edits that have been made to your document. You can restrict access. So assuming I've completed my whole proposal and I just want maybe I want a Valprol, yeah, to review it, but I don't want them to make any changes. So I can give them viewer rights only. Okay, so I'll add them to the form, but give them viewing rights. So they're not able to make any changes, but they can view the document and maybe comment. Okay, so they can view the document and maybe comment, but not make any changes. So you can restrict access. Okay, you can track changes, approve suggestions. If there's someone else who feels like they want to access my document, they can send an invitation, maybe request for access. So I'll decide whether I will approve the request or deny the request. All right. So basically that's on tracking your changes. I hope we are all on the same page in regards to that. I love it, Ruth. Thank you so much for this impactful training. Love the Jamboard app. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for this free but very enlightenment, insightful, and impactful. Lizzie says, Karen, I'm really happy that you find the sessions insightful. Thank you all so much for the beautiful feedback. Thank you all so much for the beautiful feedback. For my presentation. Any questions? Yes, Amarachi. The responses are very, very, very encouraging. So thank you all so much for joining us. Do I have any questions that I might have missed? Let me just see. Remember, please, to fill in the attendance form and input your correct name as you would want for it to appear on your certificates. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning. I hope you're having a good morning, that you've been in the session and you've loved the session. Yvonne Fury, it's nice to have you here. So do I have any questions? I'll be waiting for questions. Remember, as we wait for the questions, remember to sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. It's a 1-week long boot camp. Is there anyone here who has attended the Hustle Academy boot camp? Or is there anyone who has received communication from Google whether they've been accepted? Is there anyone who has applied? Do you have anyone who has applied for the boot camp and they've received some communication in regards? whether they've been accepted. I would love to know. I would love to know if we have taken time to actually apply for the bootcamp. I would love to know. Okay, but feel free to apply for the bootcamp. Marachi will drop the link again. Like I said, you stand a chance to be paired with a mentor to walk you through the entrepreneurial journey, being taught on how to pitch to potential investors, how do you create your own business, basically financial plan, how do you deep dive now into digital marketing, how do you create your own business strategy, okay, what do you need to put in place to increase the revenue of your business. So all these things are covered in the Hustle Academy. Please feel free to apply, but there's no one who has told me if they've applied. Yes, Carmen. Please apply for the Google Hustle Academy. I am telling you, because I'm also a trainer in the Hustle Academy, and I'm really glad that, even besides interacting with the participants in the Hustle Academy, I understand the kind of information that's being shared out. And as much as you're training to everyone who gets accepted, it's also a learning curve for me personally. Okay, it's also a learning curve for me. So when I say it's very impactful, I understand what it is I'm saying. So please, I attended. Yes. How did you love it? Come in. How did you love the session, the boot camp itself? How did you love the boot camp itself? So you can just tell us your experience on it, so that we can, at least the other people who are here can basically get an understanding of what it's about. And then if you want to learn on your own, please go to learndigital.withgoogle.com. So learn about, you can self-learn. So at the comfort of your home, you just want to learn basically more about SEO, about SEM. You can go to learndigital.withgoogle.com. Thank you, Amarachi. Thank you, Carmen. It was very good. I learned so much, worth the time. Exactly, completely worth the time. Thank you for that, Carmen. And then please follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Digital Skills for Africa, or you can go to Impact Her, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So that's it for the day. I hope that the 1 hour that you attended the session has been worth it. Thank you so much. It has been very worth it for me. I've loved to be here. However, I think they should make the time less and maybe make it over 2 weeks. Yeah. See you tomorrow, Carmen. I'll see you tomorrow. Please, everyone, remember to attend the session tomorrow. So you have another session tomorrow at let me see the time. You have another session tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So make sure you're back here for the 9:30 session. You're going to look at how do you stay productive online. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement. It's been a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Let me see. Is there anything I'm missing? No. Thank you, guys. Thank you so, so much.